Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Drew MacCallum, a senior technical specialist at Canon. Thank you for joining us, Drew.
Right, thanks Fred, thanks for having me.
And you've got the latest Canon in your hands here.
I do, this is the new EOS R. This is the new full frame mirrorless camera.
Tell us what sets it apart, some of the features that make it different. Obviously mirrorless is a big change for you.
Mirrorless is a huge change for us. With going to a mirrorless design, we changed the entire mount of the camera. So we went from an EF mount of our, what people know as our traditional EOS cameras, to the RF mount, so the R mount. Everything here is a new design. So the new mount allows for different lens designs. It allows for a shorter back focus distance, meaning the rear lens element can be closer to the sensor. And our engineers, when they design lenses, they have greater flexibility now to design lenses for this new mirrorless structure.
What are the advantages?
Oh, wow. Just to name a few, with how they design the lenses, because they can build a very large rear lens element towards the back of the lens, with the diameter of this lens at 54 millimeters. That takes a lot of the design that we had to do with the EF lenses. It allows us to create lenses without or less chromatic aberrations or other imperfections in lenses that we have to correct. So for example, this lens, this is the 50 millimeter f1.2. If you look at this rear lens element, you'll see how large it is. You'll see that it almost fills up the entire cavity of that the lens opening. That allows for a very clean image to come through the lens. And I know this is audio and you can't really see these through what we're pointing to, but when you take a look at these lenses, you'll see how big that rear lens element can be. And you can imagine this lens being just a few millimeters shy of the sensor. Our image quality actually goes up quite a bit. The sharpness level goes up a lot. So you'll see this lens, this 50 millimeter, compared to many other 50s, is extremely sharp, simply because its size.
What are some of the other features that folks should know about?
Well, the sensor of the EOS R is the same sensor as a 5D Mark IV. It, of course, has been modified and tweaked to fit this camera specifically, but the image quality you're going to get is the same as a 5D IV. We are using the dual pixel CMOS AF that we have in many of our other cameras, such as the 70D and 80D, 5D4, 1DX, so all of that technology is in this as well. Excuse me. You're looking at a swivel screen, so 270 degrees swivel screen, so tilt, rotation, and swivel, it comes all the way around, so if you are doing a vlog or something along that line, you have basically a selfie mode, if you will. You have a very high resolution EVF. This is a very smooth EVF. When you're looking through the viewfinder, you don't have a whole lot of lag or stutter. When you look through it in even low light, you can see what you're focusing in. We actually have a trial up in the booth, so you can go and try the low light focusing of the camera. It's -6 EV, wow. Which, if you want to put that in perspective, that's basically starlight without a moon.
What about the many people who've got all of these Canon lenses from years gone by?
That is a very good question, and we have 3 solutions for that for you. Those are in the use of adapters. We have a standard adapter which just mounts your EF lens, any EF lens, whether it's EF or EFS. So even if I have a 10-22, I can put it on the adapter and mount it right to the EOS R. We have a control ring adapter. Now, one thing I didn't point out yet is this control ring. It's a ring on the front of the lens that allows me to adjust shutter speed, aperture, or ISO, or exposure compensation. That ring kind of replaces the control dial on the back of, say, your 5D4 or 7D. The adapter with the control ring allows me to give that functionality to my EF and EFS lenses. The third adapter is a drop-in filter adapter, and you can have a circular polarizer filter, a variable neutral density filter, which is a 1.5 to 9 stop variable ND, or a clear filter that drops in so you can use that anytime. The great thing about these adapters is you lose no functionality. You lose no light, you lose no speed, You lose nothing by adding this adapter to the camera body. It's almost as if you were working with a 5D4 or whatever camera and that native EF lens.
Tell me what your thoughts are about this broad movement, I guess, throughout the industry to mirrorless.
You know, a lot of people feel that the move to mirrorless is for lighter, smaller advantages. And you can see in my hands, this 50mm 1.2 is not lighter and smaller than our current EF 50mm 1.2.
Especially once you put the battery pack on the battery grip on the bottom of the camera, you've got a pretty good sized camera.
It's a pretty good sized camera. It is smaller than a 5D4 with a 24-105. Certain lenses are smaller, and this system can be smaller. If I put the 35 on here, it's a nice small package. We went into the mirrorless realm to increase image quality. We wanted to say, what can we do that's going to increase the user capability, the user performance, and the performance of lenses and sensors. And with this system, we've developed a lens like the 28-70 f2. We couldn't build that lens for an well, we could, but it would be ginormous. It would be twice the size, and that lens is already 3 pounds. But we couldn't really design that lens for this format. So the move to mirrorless allows us to make lenses like that. It allows us to really, like I said, those restrictions that the lens engineers have aren't really restrictions anymore. So this mirrorless movement is for the progression of the camera industry and how photography is moving.
So tell us now about the pricing, where things get started for this.
So the body alone, you can buy it in a few different packages. You can get just the body itself. The EOS R body is $22.99. You also have the kit with the 24-105 RF lens. That one's $31.99, I believe. You'll see it out there with different kits and prices. It's out in the market now. People are able to pick them up. I'm pretty sure they can walk over to the local camera store and walk out with one, or right on the Canon eShop as well.
Again, it's the EOS R from Canon. Drew MacCallum, thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.